family-owned shop in Loganville, Soesby's Garage for all your automotive repair needs. We service all makes and models, foreign and domestic. We repair engines, alternators, brakes, alignments, AC systems, and more, using certified technicians with over 90 years of combined experience. We also offer same-day service for some repairs. Soesby's Garage, 200 Bay Creek Road in Loganville. Dependable, honest, and fair. Look us up on Google or Facebook. We'll take good care of you.
Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Case in Point, presented by Paradigm Security Services. We are the cornerstone of security in the Southeast.
Hey everyone, welcome to Case in Point, presented by Paradigm Security Services. I'm your host, Rick Strawn, the president of Paradigm, and we're excited to be with you today on Business RadioX. We are coming to you live from Subaru of Gwinnett studio, located in the beautiful Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel in Duluth, Georgia. If you would, please everybody hit that subscribe button so that we know you're here, and it would help me out a lot. Each week we plan to feature businesses in the Atlanta area and people in the Atlanta area, especially those that serve Gwinnett County. Through the course of all the shows, we talked at some point about security, because not all businesses have security concerns, or all business has security concerns, but not all are about physical security. So we will touch on that and related aspects of security as we go through the course of each show. Today, our guests, we're coming on a little early here because we wanted to get these people back to work. We got some fantastic folks here from the Gwinnett Ballet Theater. I want to welcome Bruce Thornton, he's ballet master.
Hello.
And Charly Gioino. Gioino. I knew I'd get it wrong. And Cecily Davis.
Hi.
Hey, I got one right. At least Davis made it easy. But, I do this every year as we come up around the Nutcracker. That is such an awesome production that you do. But it's not just that. It's all the stuff that the Gwinnett Ballet Theater does. Got a lot of good young people, a lot of, I can't say good old people, but people that are older than the young ones and younger than me that are in there getting involved. Let's start around the table here. What I always like to do is start with whoever's here. So let's start with Bruce. Who is Bruce Thornton? And then we'll go, whichever one of y'all wants to chime into that, charge in.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I am Bruce Thornton, or that's my name, and I'm the ballet master for Gwinnett Ballet Theater and also a teacher, a faculty member of the Sugarloaf Performing Arts. As a ballet master, to describe that job simply for anybody that might not exactly know what that means, is basically I am a rehearsal assistant for the artistic director, and also the hand of the artistic director, if you will. So that is my role, and that's actually who these dancers are. A couple of dancers that I work with are here today.
Well, let me ask you this. Where do you come from? What got you into this? And I know you said something about being originally out of Seattle.
Yes, sir. I'm originally a Seattle native. I was born there, and I attended a ballet school there named the Cornish Institute, and then moved east with my family. My father, like my wife, the reason why I live here is my wife was transferred here with Norfolk Southern Railroad in Midtown Atlanta, and my father was moved east, and I actually kind of moved to the Pennsylvania area. I ended up arriving in Pennsylvania and attending a school there, and after a few years of attending that ballet school, the Central Pennsylvania Youth Ballet, I joined the Miami City Ballet, and I danced there for a total of 15 years, eventually retiring in 2006 from professional dance as a soloist with the company, and I moved back to Pennsylvania to teach, and I taught there for about 12 years, and then my wife was transferred here with the railroad, and here we are. I was very fortunate to meet Lori Wire. I'm going to say Lori Wire because she has another name in there that I don't know if I can pronounce correctly, and I'm afraid to. But I was very fortunate to meet her. I didn't know this at first, but I didn't remember meeting her in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, teaching up there at a teacher's workshop that we were conducting. And I also didn't realize that a couple of the students that she had sent up there to work with us were from her school. And one of them is a young man named Julian Duque. And I taught him for years up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, after he was a student here with the Sugarloaf Performing Arts. And he eventually went on to dance with, I think it was Oklahoma City Ballet, and also the ballet company that I'm from, or danced with in my career. He went on to Miami City Ballet. So it was a little cathartic to meet her and then actually get to join her faculty after moving down here.
That's awesome. So needless to say, you've got a little bit of experience in the arena of dance and ballet, you know.
I hope so.
Well, let's go to Cecily. Tell us about you. A little shorter than Bruce did.
Sorry, I have a gift for gab.
That's okay.
I grew up in Columbia, South Carolina. I trained at Southeastern School of Ballet, amazing small school in that city. And then I moved here about 3 years ago to dance professionally. So I've just been, over the last 3 years, really working on just figuring out what it looks like to be a professional ballet dancer, because it's definitely a transition in mindset from being a student to being in a professional company, and then just getting into the dance community in Atlanta, which is really amazing. But and then this year I joined Gwinnett Ballet Theater, and I'm really excited about this season.
Awesome. You going to be in the Nutcracker?
Yes, I am.
Were you in the Nutcracker last year?
I was, but not with Gwinnett Ballet Theater.
Yeah, so you got some. Yeah, that's a blast.
Yes.
Charly, how about it you?
Hi, I actually grew up here. I was born in New Jersey, and we moved down to Georgia when I was 10. I've been dancing with Sugarloaf Performing Arts basically for my whole life. I graduated high school here, went to University of Cincinnati, which is actually Miss Laurie's, where she went to college, so she recommended it to me. I did 2 years in person there, finished my degree online, and moved to North Carolina for 2 years, where I danced with a different company called the U.S. International Ballet. And then I moved home in my 3rd year, and I actually danced professionally with Gwinnett Ballet Theater last year. So I was super excited when the merger happened. It was great to still be able to dance with Gwinnett Ballet Theater and to move home to Sugarloaf Performing Arts.
That's awesome. Where'd you graduate high school at?
I graduated from Peachtree Ridge. Well, I did Peachtree Ridge for 2 years and then graduated Gwinnett Online, but I still hung out with all of my friends from Peachtree Ridge, and Gwinnett Online was pretty young.
Awesome. So I'm sure you've got plenty of fans over there at Peachtree Ridge.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I got to do Nutcracker with you last year, which was fun. I remember seeing you in Nutcracker last year.
Yeah, I thought your face looked familiar, and I just thought that was a blast.
You did so good out there as Mother Ginger. It was great.
I appreciate it. I was trying. I had a lot of guidance and suggestions from the group about what to do. And that was different. Well, after 40 years in Gwinnett County, what is different with the Gwinnett Ballet Theater this year, Bruce?
There are a few things that are different about the Gwinnett Ballet Theater this year, in the way that, honestly, our leadership is different. Lori Zemzo-Wire is I guess I just tried to pronounce it, is the artistic director, and I'm I'm a ballet master here, and these guys are dancing for us. So there really is a lot of personnel changes, and I don't know. I'm from outside, so I guess I don't know what Gwinnett Ballet Theater was before I got here, and so I can't say that we're better or anything improved, because I believe that we are just merging something that was an incredible creation.
There's two great groups coming together.
Exactly, and to me that's the most exciting part of it. It's just that I really hope that our audience comes to see the Nutcracker and realizes that we haven't changed the Nutcracker. We've it's the same Nutcracker that everybody enjoys and loves, and a lot of it, to those audiences that have enjoyed the 40 years of Gwinnett Ballet Theater, which I would love to be celebrating that anniversary this year. I wish that we weren't dealing with this pandemic right now, but at the same time, all of the things that are, a lot of the things about the Nutcracker that they love and enjoy are the same. There are a few little differences in it, but basically it's our desire to not just continue, but do our best to honor the tradition and the long-standing ability of Gwinnett Ballet Theater to produce incredible performances here in this area.
Well, what about you, Charlie? You were here last year. What kind of differences and changes do you see?
There's really not that much. They've been completely by what we had done last year, adding small little twists and just vision spacing wise. It's pretty much the same. It's really exciting to be able to do it again. Yeah, there's really not that much that's
So what we call a seamless
different
transition in the business world.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was definitely a seamless transition there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know you got to have a lot of challenges that face you into launching a professional ballet company, and especially in the middle of the pandemic, and continuing with what you do in the middle, because it is a people business. So who'd like to jump in? And how about you, Cecily? You hadn't spoken yet. What do you think?
I think a lot of the challenges as a dancer that I was facing was in the beginning, during the summer, there was a lot of uncertainty, and there was a lot of we were trying to figure out how to stay in shape and maintain those skills that we need to dance professionally, but do it from our homes. And that, so over the summer months, it was sometimes a struggle to find the motivation to keep going. But I think a lot of the motivation came from knowing that there were people working to get Gwinnett Ballet Theater to have a season and to get that going. So that was a lot of my motivation to stay in shape and to keep working, was knowing that there was this future that was being worked on for us. So that was a huge challenge, but also really encouraging.
Well, I know, having been there and done that dance is a group activity. And especially when you're learning, it's best when you have people around you to motivate you, and everybody get in unison and doing what you want to do and doing the same moves. Mm-hmm. So I would think that would be especially challenging for an instructor, trying to motivate the people and get everybody coordinated in the same area. It's like pulling a group. It's hard to do that on a Zoom meeting.
Boy howdy, it is. It is so hard to try to make people rehearse a ballet on Zoom. I would say, I don't even know how to describe because we went from meeting Cecily as I did in the audition for actually Gwinnett Ballet Theater. I was teaching that class and seeing these guys, and also being a part of this process. It's incredible. It's exciting. But yes, we started with our students in Zoom meetings. We're in the studio and all the kids are at home, and now it's flipped a little bit, but it's just that we're really just doing our best to try to navigate these waters, and it is difficult. But yeah, we came to a realization that if we were going to try to put this production on, especially for Nutcracker, we need to have the kids in the studio. It just isn't possible to.
It'd be hell to try to choreograph everything in bits and pieces.
Yeah, it just doesn't work as well. It just is too. It's too hard of a hurdle to get over. There's
a lot of timing involved in the interaction that.
They need to see each other.
Exactly. They've got to see the part as it's moving to know the part when it starts.
Yeah. And I mean, that whole process of being like that, and I notice this with children just in school in general too. The classroom is a wonderful place for kids to be. It's hard to be in this moment now where people can't be together, because in a lot of ways we all need to, well, not all of us maybe, but just people need to be together to do things, and especially for us.
Well, for sanity, having that time together and interaction is important, especially for kids coming up and growing up.
Yeah.
They've got to have that interaction and that social interaction to get things done in their brain form right. Well, why are the performing arts like a ballet important in the middle of a crisis? Why is it important to be able to do that?
To me, to not just offer the children an outlet, because we have education that we're offering them. We're offering them the performing experience. There's a physical activity. There's a lot that we offer the kids that we teach, the people that we teach, and the people that we work with, but also the community. To me, it offers them something to change how their mind is focusing on something that this crisis is. It's a pandemic, but it's also an entertainment that can hopefully take the edge off of the world and give them some entertainment and give them hope.
Well, and from an instructor point, I see what you're talking about. What about from the participant point, as far as the importance of it getting through through the pandemic and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps with like a sense of normalcy. Like, we're used to being able to perform in front of a live audience. We're used to like being able to like share our gift to dance. Like, we do it to show everybody else that like ballet is great. We love performing, want to entertain people. So the fact that we're still able to do that is absolutely amazing. And I think it's super important that we've been given the opportunity to still do that. I mean, everybody at home when we were like locked down is just watching Netflix. Like, we're the Netflix part. You need something to watch, and we want to do it. We want to be the people that you're watching.
Yeah, well, and you feel like that you are good at your craft, and you want to show off your craft. Yeah. Like anybody in sports, and I consider dance an athletic sport.
Yeah.
Because it can be very tiring and stretching, and it can wear you out. I can tell you that. You like to, you want to be good at your craft, and you want to show off, like a football player. He wants to get out there and show everybody how really good he is.
Yeah.
Same way with basketball, same way with baseball, anything. And dance is no different. You're good at your craft. You've worked hard to get there. You want to show off what you're doing. Well, is this the first production coming up with the Nutcracker that y'all have done this year?
Yes.
Well, looking at that, will you be able to actually perform in front of live audiences? Will there be one?
Yes.
There actually will be. Yeah, there will be. We have a partnership that our artistic director has cultivated over the years with the Infinity Center, and so we'll be performing at the Infinity Energy Center, I think that's what it's called.
Right.
And so we'll be there under the absolute best guidelines and advice that not only health experts but also what the Infinity Energy Center is asking us to follow, and we're going to perform for the audience that they'll allow. We also have a live stream, I believe it is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be performing for that, so people can actually purchase a ticket, I believe, and then
pay-per-view type thing.
Yeah,
that's
something
that's pretty cool.
I'm. It's exciting to actually be a part of that right now, even though it's super weird to have that as something that we're doing.
Well, that's new.
Yeah, because just like Charlie said, these guys are good at what they do. I've seen it, and they need somebody to feed off of. And when you have a live audience in front of you, even if it's online, you still feel like there's something.
But it is different.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something about looking out, even though you can't really see their faces because of all the lights and everything. You know they're there. You can hear the interaction at times, especially, of course, in your line. It's after each of the segments is over with, you hear all of the appreciation, but you still hear it. And you know that people are out there and they appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely.
And it does get loud in there, I can tell you, after you're done.
Absolutely.
Well, is there anything new and different in this year's Nutcracker performance, or should I say, what is new and different? Because there's always new and different something somewhere.
Charlie, why don't you? I'm sorry to throw this. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but I figure
he is.
Well, I have the unique experience of having you from last year performing with Gwinnett Ballet Theater, and then now with us. So actually,
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a snow paw this year. Last year we didn't have another male dancer, so there was Snow Queen danced with some of the snowflakes. We have a snow paw this year, which is super exciting. as always, I'm excited for Mother Ginger because I always think that's really cool. It was super cool to me last year. It was the first time I'd ever seen like actual members of like Gwinnett County community like come in and like get to dance that role together, which was nice.
Well, it was interesting. I'll tell you, it was actually, there's only one way to describe that, and it was fun. It was a blast.
It looked really good. Like, that's still there, which is awesome. I'm trying to think of other new things that we're doing.
Now, you say Snowpaw?
Yeah, so last year what we had was the Snow Queen dance with some of the other dancers, just
all
as like all the other
around.
snowflakes running with her. This year we actually have another gentleman coming in and performing with us. So we're doing like how Sugar Plum has the Cavalier, and they do that really beautiful pas de deux together. We have a snow one this year, which is like always in the Nutcracker. You never have enough guys. There's sometimes where it just can't happen.
So you've got a lot more. You've got a lot more males participating this year.
Yeah, we got some guest men performing with us this year.
That's terrific.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a lot of parts of the puzzle now instead of just pieces.
Yes. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Do you want to jump in and say anything, or you kind of?
I mean, one reason I love the Nutcracker is just because it is the same every year, and I've performed it since I was a little girl. But every year I get to do different roles every year, and I feel like I get to find new nuances in each role every time I perform it. No matter how many times I perform it, it feels like it's new to me.
Do you put your own little twists in there somewhere of what you do, or is it just stone ground choreographed?
Well, I mean, I definitely will do the choreography as it's
you
given.
Better, or I'm sure your instructor's going to shoot you.
Right. That's our job as dancers, but at the same time, we also, all of us want to put ourselves into every role we perform, because the audience doesn't want to see a bunch of robot dancers. They want to see real people doing these parts. So we may be dancing all together, we're doing the same steps, we're working really hard to make that happen, but at the same time we're putting ourselves into every performance that we give. Great
response. That and that's why I can see that, because just like a jazz player, he may be playing the same song, playing the same notes, playing the same chords, everything, but at the same time, when it gets down to it, he puts his own touch to it, and it's all the same, except you can tell it's him doing it. So, and I guess in the case of y'all, there's little movements, the way you form, the way you stand, the way you perform the particular movement of the choreography would be your own.
Right, exactly.
Awesome. Damn, sounds like I know something about dancing, doesn't it? Maybe I ought to go back to taking dancing again. All right. Well, to you two young ladies, what is the best part of being a ballerina?
I would say being able to express myself in a different way, being able to like perform, like touch people when I'm performing, just like you can get all of your emotions out and you can make somebody feel something different. Like, people can come in and watch a show and they could have had like a horrible day, like there's traffic getting there, they're sleepy, they're grumpy, but you can go in there and you can dance for them and it can change their entire like view of what had happened during the day.
I imagine it could change yours too.
Oh, definitely. I can come into the studio having like no sleep, not feeling so great.
Terrible day.
Like on Monday I was just so tired, but by the end of the day I was like, oh, that was awesome. Like I got to like dance out all of like
that sounds like one of my normal days.
Things.
Maybe I better take up dancing.
Yeah.
How about you, Cecily?
I mean, it's just incredibly rewarding. I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, but I think I have the best job in the entire world, because like Charly said, it's just a way of expressing yourself and connecting that it doesn't need words. It goes beyond words, and you're able to express emotions and convey them to the audience and have them all see the same thing, but it can touch them in different ways.
Yeah, see it differently.
Yeah.
You're looking at the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I guess the next logical question is, what is the worst part of it?
I would say on one hand, we're living out like most 5-year-old girl's like childhood dream. Like everybody wants to be a ballerina. But on the other hand, I have a blister on my heel that's like completely open right now, and I have to wear point shoes later. So gotta tape that one up.
Better than blisters on your toes, I guess. How about you, Cecily?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of challenges. We have crazy schedules. The physical part is very demanding. Sometimes you really are just trying your hardest, and some days, I mean, because we're human, some days are going to be better than others, and some days your body doesn't work exactly the way you want it to. So you just have to figure out how to get through those days and remember why you're doing it. And that, I mean, it is so incredibly rewarding that can help get us through the hard days.
Well, I'm going to ask you the same question. I won't call you a ballerina, Bruce, but you've been there, you've done that, and you've done it for a lot of years. What would you say to the answer to those two questions?
To the best part of, honestly, to me, and I love watching these guys do this. That's one of my favorite parts of the job, is getting in the studio and trying to get the best out of these guys, because it is so fulfilling. And it's going out on stage, captivating the audience, and knowing that you're taking them on a journey. You're not in front of them hoping that they accept you. You know inside that they are in the palm of your hand. And that is such a boost to the ego, a boost to the adrenaline. It's just incredible. And to me, that was my absolute favorite part, was being on stage in front of a live full house. It was, but I think one of the worst things about it is just the tough toll it has on the body. And I think that that's the one thing that Charly just touched on. And I have to say, in a way, female dancers, the ballerinas of our world, are some of the toughest athletes that I've ever
Amen to that.
ever been around. And I believe that simply because they have an incredible ability to have a very high tolerance of pain. And I just don't think that they get enough recognition of that, because it seems incredible for them to just have that high threshold. I just don't know how to describe it.
Oh, I can tell you how to describe it. That's why women have babies and not men. We couldn't handle the pain,
that's
brother.
It's incredible. It's true. It's true.
There would be no multi-kid families with men doing it. There'd be, you ain't doing that to me again.
It would probably be like a population crisis on.
Oh yeah, we would definitely not have a population out of control. Well,
there's a reason why the women wear the point shoes, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you're not getting a guy up there. Nah, we look at you and say you're crazy. Y'all look at it and say y'all are just weak.
That's true. That's true.
Y'all just don't have what it takes. Oh, well, I guess, why do you choose to dance for not necessarily this new company, but for any company? Why do you really want to choose to be this versus? I'm sure that you have an opportunity. Y'all have been to school. You know all the different things. I know that the old saying is, find a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But aside from that, why do you choose to be this type of profession?
I mean, it's something I love. Like, it's basically what you said. Like, this is what I've loved since I was little. It was always my dream to be able to dance professionally. And, like, I know it was Miss Laurie's dream to open her own professional company. I remember her telling me about it when I was in middle school, and I was like already worried then. I was like, I need to have a plan, because I've always been that type of person that's like, I need to know exactly what I'm doing every day. And I was like, I need to like have a plan, like, where am I going to go dance? What am I going to go do? And she was like, I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to have my own company after like she already danced professionally. And she was like, this is what I want to do. And I was like, well, that would be really cool. When are you going to do it? Like, maybe I don't have to go anywhere.
Well, as a group, sometime. Yeah, as a group, do you find that most people have wanted, if they're doing this, have wanted to do it since they were very small, both male and female?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You have to.
I think you have to.
Yeah, you got to stick with it your whole life.
Yeah, it's a labor of love, a labor of passion, and it starts at such a young age. Sometimes the young men, the boys, or the men that start later, sometimes they can produce something that's very special in that way, but it is so much harder for the ladies that they have to start when they're young, and unfortunately it just doesn't So for them, I would have to say there are boys that have come into it later on, but for the girls, they end up having to start so young. So it for them, it's like they, I don't know how it happens with you guys. At one point, you just suddenly have those stars in your eyes, and it's amazing. But it's just, I mean, I don't know how to describe it.
I know that looking at the little kids that are in the Nutcracker, I mean, you wonder how are they even finding the stage, much less finding the dance. It is just awesome to watch them get out there, and they are absolutely loving it.
It's the best part when they're looking up at you, and they have that look in their eye. They're just so charged with an electricity, and that gleam, that glimmer.
It's called an open canvas.
It is. It's amazing, and I love that about them because they carry you through Nutcracker, especially when you have to do a lot of performances. I just know those kids are just so happy. They just pick you up, and it's like flying on a magic carpet. They just make it so joyful.
That is. I see that when I see the kids, and I see my granddaughter when she did that and all. Why do y'all choose? You could work anywhere. You could work with any ballet company. You could do it. Why do y'all choose this ballet company to work for?
I mean, for me,
Cecily.
for me, I wanted a new challenge. And I had been in the Atlanta area for a couple years, and I think a lot of dancers, and that's part of why we do this, is we just have this desire to keep improving ourselves, to keep finding new challenges, new ways to stretch ourselves, and so that's what I wanted. And I saw that in Gwinnett Ballet Theater, and I saw that when I was talking to Lori, and I saw that she just had such a vision for the company, and I could also tell that she genuinely cared about us as dancers and as human beings, which is not always the case in the arts. But she and that's been true working with her, because I didn't know her before I joined the company, but it's been a really amazing experience, the way that she treats us, the way that she treats us, and the way that she's helping us to grow and develop our art.
How about you, Charly?
Since I was dancing with Gwinnett Ballet Theater like the year before, I had moved home. One of the other dance teachers had recommended I joined the professional company last year because they had just started one, and I was interested in just moving away from where I was in North Carolina, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come home for a year. Like, I'll live at home, save up my money, dance somewhere.
You're not living in the basement, are you?
No. I actually kicked my sister out of her room, and I got the big room now. But I was like, okay, I'll dance somewhere that, like, I'll be just 10 minutes from my old studio. I can go there if I need anything. And then about, like, towards the end of the year was when Sugarloaf Performing Arts and Gwinnett Ballet Theater announced the merger, and I was like, oh, of course I'm gonna stay. Like, now I just get to go home. Like, I'll just be back at my home studio. Yeah, of course I'm gonna stay.
No, there's no place like home,
exactly,
as they say.
Yeah.
Well, you worked in you worked in a lot of different venues. So how about you, Bruce?
I found Lori and the Sugarloaf Performing Arts to be somewhere that I felt like I fit, because Miss Lori Zamzowire, I want to say her full name just so I'm not being too vague, but she contacted me, and I came up and I taught a class for her, and she could appreciate what I was able to offer, and I just fell in love with the students. I was actually teaching Charly's sister in a class, two of your sisters at the time, and I just, it was amazing. I found out that it was kind of an epiphany. I found out that I had taught a couple of her students in Pennsylvania before we moved down here, and I just suddenly realized how lucky I was to be able to work with an organization that, to me, was doing their job very well. And then I found out about the merger, and I felt so lucky because it has been a little back of the mind dream of mine to be able to work in the capacity that I am with a professional ballet company like it is. And that's a tricky business to get into. People have to be good to do this. And so
yeah.
I think we're good at it. But that's the thing, is it also didn't seem like, I couldn't believe I was looking at that seamless transition that we were talking about, how you can put two really great organizations together like this. It just didn't seem possible. It seemed like, how are we doing this merger without something being wrong with something? It just seems like things are You know what I mean? It almost seemed
I
too
do.
good to be true, but it just hasn't stopped. It just hasn't stopped. And so that's how I look at it. I joined the organization simply because I couldn't believe how lucky I was to be able to join this organization, really, because it is really good at what they do. And I have worked in a lot of different capacities, and they've been doing a great job for 40 years with Gwinnett Ballet Theater and for Sugarloaf Performing Arts too. It's just because I'm not sure how long they've been around. I'm sorry, but
That's okay.
they just do a great job here, and it's just it's an amazing place. Sorry.
You got the Nutcracker coming up, and of course that is a biggie, and just, I mean, it's just awesome from beginning to end. But what's the rest of your season going to look like?
We do have 2 more major productions coming up, one in the spring and then one at the end of the year. The production in the spring is going to be another story ballet, and then at the end of the year we have a little bit more of I would call it a little bit more of a recital, but it's an all-school performance. I hesitate to say the word recital just because these kids do such an amazing job that it's just really a showcase of what our students are capable of and what our company is capable of too in the summer, like that early summertime, May, June-ish, I think it is. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say what the ballet is that we're performing in the spring.
That's okay. But
So
there's going to be one.
There is definitely going to be one. Now that is, of course, crossing everything I know how to cross, my fingers and toes and maybe my nose. It's just something, my eyes, just to make sure we can get there and do it again, because right now, you know what I mean, we want to get in the theater and we want to perform, and we're just hoping every day that goes by that we're able to do that. So
Well, I think it's very important to the community as a whole to have the entertainment out there too, and especially this type of entertainment, not just going to a movie or going to dinner, but you go to a full-blown entertainment. That's a lot different, and you sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and your mind gets in a different place. You lose what's going on in your day. You no longer are thinking about all that crap that you had at office and all the junk that you went through with a bunch of employees that wouldn't do what they're supposed to be doing. I can tell you in my business, it's good to get away for at least a couple of hours and get that brain clear.
absolutely.
Well, tell us a little bit. You got a timetable here on or schedule on the Nutcracker that you can share with us? We didn't write it. I didn't write it down, which I should have.
We will be performing the Nutcracker. Let's see here. This month is November. I'm sorry. Yeah. We're in November right now, but we're going into December. It's going to be December 4th through 4th, 5th, and 6th. Oh, thank you. We have
a schedule.
Thank you. Yes, we have December 4th, 5th, and 6th, and at the Infinity Energy Center. And then we're also the following weekend, the 11th, 12th, and 13th, and then the 18th, 19th, and I think that's it. The 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Yeah.
Yes. But we also have another ballet that we perform during the holidays called our Nativity Ballet, and we're performing those. I'm sorry, Cecily, could you tell me when that?
That would be on the 11th and 12th, on a Friday and a Saturday.
Friday and Saturday, December 11th and 12th at the Infinity Energy Center. And that's just, I would describe that as holy cow, it's a wonderful performance with a lot of the recognizable Christmas holiday songs that, oh my gosh, are very heartwarming, and it is an amazing performance. I watched the rehearsal last night, and I've been mainly focused on the Nutcracker lately, but that Nativity Ballet is really fun, and it's just beautiful. So all of that is happening. We also have school performances that we're doing at a couple of local schools. What are those performances, Charlie?
The school shows are December 4th. We have one in the morning at 10. And then December 11th, we have our second one. I might be wrong on the exact time on there, but we do 2 school shows. Normally we have 4 school shows with a sensory-friendly performance, but unfortunately this year with the theater regulations, we're not allowed to do 2 school shows. They got to clean everything out. So we're actually offering a virtual performance package for the schools that aren't able to attend. That way they can broadcast it to the entire school.
Well, if somebody wants to find out information about where to call, where to go to get information on the performances, to book a ticket, a group of tickets, where would they go? Is there a website? Well, I guess the website would be nutcracker@gwinnettballet.org.
Yeah, that's our email that you can email us and ask about tickets.
Gwinnettballet.org would be the website.
Yes, I think we just rolled out a brand new website. It looks really pretty.
Oh, good. I'll have to go to it. I hadn't been to the new one. So we've got gwinnettballet.org, and if you want to email them to find out more information, email them at nutcracker@gwinnettballet.org. And go into their website. It'll give you information on all of the performances that are coming up. It sounds like you've got a very, very full December.
We do.
Very full year.
It's incredible. One of the things, that's another thing that is surprising, because Gwinnett Ballet Theater performed a lot for Nutcracker. There's not a lot of places that do as many performances of Nutcracker as Gwinnett Ballet Theater does. It's really remarkable. Now, yes, there are places that do more, but we are
at least
very
in
busy.
Atlanta, there's not a lot. They do one of the most.
Yeah, and so you're absolutely right. We've got a very busy December, and I'm going to be honest, once we're through, I'm going to breathe a sigh of relief. Mainly I'm hoping for very successful performances and just being able to provide them for our audiences, because honestly, once we get through and know that that's done,
I would imagine that is everybody just kind of.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah, because that'll be
Yeah.
that kind of moment, because I was just talking to these guys about just getting to that point and being able to know that we've gotten that done. It's just such a moment.
That's quite an accomplishment.
It will be. Yes. So.
And so thank all of y'all for being here. And again, everybody, you got to go see the Nutcracker. It is great. And always watch for that special Mother Ginger, whoever it's going to be with the community this year. Every one of them will have a different one, and I don't know why y'all are pointing at me. I know Amy's already made a comment, but we'll see what happens. But be sure and come out to see the Nutcracker. It's going to be awesome. It is. Go see anything that the Gwinnett Ballet Theater puts on, because it's a great group of young people, great group of artists. I won't just say performers, I'll just say artists, because everything they do is just awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on Case in Point, presented by Paradigm Security Services. Remember, you can join us live every Wednesday, normally at 11:30 in the morning. Today came a little earlier. Or you can listen to our show anytime you want by going to businessradiox.com, clicking on the Gwinnett Studio, and then click on Case in Point. Please be sure and hit that subscribe button so that I can know you're there. Join us next week at 11:30 when we will talk with business leaders about their businesses and related security issues. And, with ballet, just so everybody knows, there is a lot of security there. Y'all take care of those kids. Your security is awesome on your performances. So all your kids and everybody else will be safe at those places. Thanks again to my guests, Bruce Thornton, right? Yeah, Bruce Thornton. My mind just had a brain skip. And I'm just going to say Cecily and Charly. That'll be easier. Yeah. And to Mike, who's on vacation. And most importantly, to Amanda, who's over there running everything, running the boards, running everything. She forgot my commercial. But anyway, we're going to run that by. It'll get done. So I am Rick Strawn. And remember, at Paradigm Security Services, we cover more than just your assets.